No, as an online business owner, social media is just that love-hate thing. I want to talk about the outdated Instagram strategies that you have to stop using. If you want to know the strategies that are outdated that you need to stop, especially the last one that I'm going to share at the end of this video, make sure you stay tuned because we're going to get into it right now. Hey, CourtneySanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach, as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things, including fiddle around with Instagram and their crazy algorithm. I know, as an online business owner, social media is just that love-hate thing. You know, it's that love-hate relationship that we all have with social media where, you know, it might feel like a chore to have to always constantly be figuring out what the platforms are doing, but it makes such a big difference in your business. And I know for me, both YouTube and Instagram are instrumental. And so I've actually seen a lot of success with Instagram lately, even after previously kind of dogging it out. You know, for a while I was like, you know, I have an audience on Instagram, but I'm not focused on growth because the algorithm is crazy. And then I figured out what actually works. And so I actually talk about my new Instagram strategy in this video here, if you want to learn the strategy I use to get over 1,000 followers in one day. But in this video, I want to talk about the outdated Instagram strategies that you have to stop using. And I say this as someone who's previously using them. So I get it, as online business owners and entrepreneurs, we're busy and it's very easy to get in a rut and to do what always has worked. But again, these platforms change all the time. And so you might be doing strategies that you don't even realize are outdated. And so if you want to know the strategies that are outdated that you need to stop, especially the last one that I'm going to share at the end of this video, make sure you stay tuned because we're going to get into it right now. All right, the first strategy that is really outdated, even though a lot of people still believe this and are even preaching this dogma, is this idea that your captions should be very short. Now, gratefully, this was never something that I did because I'm just too long-winded for that, right? I have so much that I want to share, and whether it's an Instagram caption or YouTube video, in fact, that's why I'm not on Twitter, because there's no way I could share what I want to share inside of a tweet. But there is this notion on Instagram that people don't read, and if you want your post to go far and wide, you need to keep your captions and your descriptions as short as possible. Nothing could be further from the truth. So again, I've always had relatively long captions where I explain different things, but particularly when we're talking about the algorithm now, even the algorithm for Reels, understand that Instagram is really focused on keeping people on the platform. And so the beauty of having longer descriptions is you have people on the platform because they're reading what you are writing. Even if they're not reading every word, but they're scanning, again, in that split second, it keeps someone on your post longer than if you just have a one word or even a one sentence description. So get rid of this idea that all you need is short descriptions. No, really think about it. You might want to create a longer description because it keeps people on the post longer, and particularly if it's a reel, it keeps them watching it longer. All right, the next outdated strategy that you'll want to stop using is focusing exclusively on small hashtags. Now, this was popularized a few years ago because the idea was if you focus on small hashtags, meaning hashtags that didn't have a lot of posts using that particular hashtag, then it was easier for you to rank inside of that hashtag, meaning when you post your post would show up at the top of that hashtag page. So you know how you can go into Instagram and hit a hashtag and it'll show the most recent post, but as well the top post. Well, the idea was the smaller the hashtag, not too small, obviously you don't want a hashtag that only has 3 posts on it, but the idea was if you got a hashtag that only had a few thousand or tens of thousands of posts, that you could rank higher up. However, that's not the case, especially with the way the algorithm is working. In fact, you want to use bigger hashtags, even though you might be scared that you're going to get drowned out. You know, if you use hashtag coach or hashtag entrepreneur, hashtag wellness, or whatever these big hashtags are, oftentimes entrepreneurs avoid using them because they think that their posts are just going to get buried. And while that may or may not be the case, hashtags are actually really instrumental in coaching and guiding the algorithm on what your post is actually about. So you want to think of hashtags not per se as like, oh, my ideal client is going to click on this hashtag and then they're going to see my post at the top, but more so that the algorithm is going to understand what this post is about, and then they are going to push it to other people who are my ideal clients. So don't be scared of big hashtags. And in fact, if you're like, I don't know, and you want to use a mix of small and large hashtags, that's fine, but don't exclusively focus on small hashtags because it's difficult for the algorithm to know what exactly this is about. Use bigger, broader hashtags to ensure that your post gets seen to your ideal client. All right, the next outdated strategy that you need to stop using, and this is something I was like, no, but I love doing this, And that is just posting a single photo with a caption, right? It's easy. It's what Instagram started with. Again, why are they changing everything? But just as I mentioned in that first tip, the goal of Instagram is to keep people on the platform as long as possible. And while photos aren't dead, in fact, I talk about this in a previous video on my Instagram strategies, you do want to be using a mix of the different styles of Instagram posts. So I'm not saying you should only be doing reels or something like that. You do want to make use of photos, but think about it. What kind of photos would keep people on the platform longer? Carousels, right? That's why you don't want to do a single post and then have a description. See if you can make it a carousel. Even if it's just two versions of the same photo, but maybe it shows a different angle, or if you can get three, again, you get that swipe factor where people are like, ooh, I wonder what the second photo is. So instead of doing single posts, see if you can turn it into a carousel, and again, combine it with the tip I gave earlier around having longer descriptions. You will see more eyeballs on your post as Instagram favors it and pushes it out to your ideal client. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. What strategies do you use on Instagram? Share in the comments below. All right, the next outdated strategy that you might not even realize is something that you're doing, because it's not a strategy per se, but it's just something that we were all trained to do, is posting your best post only one time. This is something that I've been super guilty of. You know how it is, you finally get that post that does well, and you're like, wow, this is great, my audience really resonated with it, and then we're like, okay, that's it, and then we move on, and we find other posts to post. Well, if possible, over time, you'll wanna go back and look at those posts that did well and simply repost them, yes. And I know you might be feeling like, well, why would I repost them? Because my audience has already seen this post, it was popular, duh. I don't wanna post something that they've already seen. But here's the thing, your audience has seen a gazillion posts. So it's not really gonna register to them if they see that same post again. And if they do see it again, if it was popular and they liked it, it's not gonna bother them. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, I love that post. But the reason why you wanna post it again is because it's another opportunity for the algorithm to push that out and to get you new followers. So there's people who are your target market who have actually never seen that post. And so if you repost it, you have a greater chance for the algorithm to push it to them. So don't feel like your best post only can see the light of day one time. If you post something and it does well, wait a little bit, but in a few weeks, consider reposting it again. All right, and this next strategy kind of falls in line with what I was talking about previously in the last strategy, and that is you want to abandon the idea that you're only making content for your existing followers. Yes, in fact, I would say that is the biggest, most outdated strategy that so many online entrepreneurs are falling into, and again, I was one of them, so I readily admit this. I get it. You think that the only people who are looking at your posts, and I get it, most of the time we create posts for the people who already follow us. And while we want to continue doing that, I'm not saying create posts that the people who are following you are gonna hate. You also want to keep in mind that your posts are going to be seen by people who don't follow you. And so you want to make sure that you're creating content that they are going to like, that they are going to click on, and that ultimately they are going to want to follow you for. So Instagram is in this big push right now where they're trying to keep as many people on the platform, and they're trying to serve as much content to all the different types of communities that are on Instagram right now. So your posts are likely, especially if you follow these other strategies, are likely to get swept into that and be delivered to people who have never even heard of you and who have never even seen you before. So you want to make sure that you have a good mix of, yes, you have maybe even the majority of your posts are going towards people who already follow you, but keep in mind, what is somebody who is my ideal client but has never heard of me? What kind of post would they resonate with? What kind of post would make them click and ultimately want to follow me? Make sure you have a good mix of those posts on your feed, because that is the name of the game for Instagram right now. All right, thanks so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you're gonna love my content planning cheat sheet. This is a cheat sheet that I still use to this day to come up with different topic ideas, whether on YouTube or yes, even Instagram, that are gonna get in front of my ideal clients. So if you wanna use these strategies, which are like, I don't know what type of Instagram post I should be creating, make sure you click the link below in order to download that content planning cheat sheet. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you loved it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next video, make sure that you are subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure that you are following me on Instagram. It's CourtneyLSanders on Instagram. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.